what's a myth about pumping or breastfeeding that you want to dispel? Like, what's something that you hear all the time? You're like, people, I need you to know it's not that.
I just think that people really understand the time that goes into it. Like for me, it's everything is about time. Like as a working parent, the only way that you make the life of the working parent work is to make it more efficient, right? Like if you catch the earlier train, you're going to make it to the parent-teacher conference, or you're going to be able to get your child from daycare in time. If you bring your lunch with you, you can be a little bit more productive during the day. If you grab coffee while you take a walk with a friend or a coworker, you're doing some exercise. Everything is about efficiencies. And by far the most inefficient thing I did as a working parent, by far. And I do a lot in terms of like parent-teacher conferences and logistical planning as soon as the clock strikes 3 and my kids get out of school and, planning birthday parties and doing all this kind of stuff. By far the most inefficient thing I did was pumping, because it took up a lot of time at work because you have to clean most, as you know, but most other people don't know, when you buy a pump at home, the parts come to you, you open up the parts, you boil them before you use them the first time to sterilize them. And then you clean them and re-sterilize them in between each use. And there's many parts that go into it. And if you forget one part, it won't work. And then you are left sort of high and dry. And then, by the way, the physical side of it, if you don't pump, can be painful. You can be engorged. You can be leaking milk. So there's all of these sort of embarrassing, and there's all these details that you have to think about, right? You just once a day. You have to think about it in the morning. You have to think about it throughout the day. You have to think about it at night. Yes. And so it's just, I don't think people really understand the time and energy that goes into it.
Yeah, that mental load is so
real. Mental load, right? It's like,
yeah. Right. And like, you're just thinking about it. And for me, it was so time consuming, but it was also, I was obsessing over how many ounces I got every day. Like, did I get enough? And will he have enough to eat tomorrow?
Yes, that's another big thing.
Oh my God.
100%.
And the more efficient the pump, the more effectively you can feed your child. Yeah. You're bringing me back to like, I thought I loved breastfeeding, but now that I think about it, there's some things I really did not love about the experience. And that mental load, that extreme exhaustion, you want to go to bed, you have to do one last pump, cleaning things constantly. I mean,
you better drink like a big cup of water because now you're dehydrated. There's like all these physical things that you have to think about too. I know sometimes women, like I met with a woman recently who had her third, working mom, worked sort of similar hours that I did with my old job. And she didn't want to talk about it. And I was like, it dawned on me that I'm far enough removed from what I went through that she was just like, so I also had to be really careful because she's like, I hated it. I hated pumping at work. And, you're saying it'll make it easier for me. Is this another way to make me feel guilty that I should keep pumping at work? And so I'm like, no, that's never my goal. And I'm like, tell me what would have made it better for you, if anything. And if just quitting and, switching to formula would make it better for you, I support that too. So it's all about helping the employers to say to employees, we're here to give you tangible tools that will help you to navigate this parenting journey.
Hi, I hope you loved this little excerpt of Stork'd, the podcast where we talk about all things family building and families. This was a little taste of the bigger episode. We call it a Stork'd Munchkin. If you love what you heard, I highly encourage you to check out the full episode wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also find it on the Stork'd website at storkdpodcast.com. If you're in the process of building your own family or exploring what family means to you and you want to stay up to date on all relevant topics related to family building, don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter. It's called Let's Start a Family, and it is found on Substack. Happy listening.